Good afternoon. I'm Rick Minner coming to you this afternoon with my Towaliga Soil Conservation District cap on, both literally and figuratively. I'm here to introduce a new series we're doing about the history of soil conservation in Fayette County. And I know this is an urban county, you wonder why it even matters, but it's important to still conserve soil and water, even though we're getting more and more urban as time goes by. So what we're focusing on is sort of generational, the families that are conserving soil and water going back really to like 1937, when the soil conservation effort across the country picked up in response to the Dust Bowl. So we've been researching at the archives in Morrow and the Fayette County Historical Society, and then out interviewing farmers and people that are taking care of their really nice projects, taking care of their soil. Our initial interview with Mickey Harp, my cousin, who lives right across the way over here. He's got some really neat stuff he does on his plant nursery to keep soil and water clear, and does a really great job. And then my fellow supervisor with the Towaliga District, Russell Hatcher, has talked to Dan Langford about his family's effort with their Hill Pine Farm down in Brooks to grow timber down there, and they do a really nice job too. So there'll be several videos coming, more information. We're going to try to get out there, and hope you'll all support us, and look forward to getting feedback on what we're doing. Thanks for watching. Good morning. I'm Rick Minner. I'm the chairman of the Towaliga Soil and Water Conservation District, and we're here in Fayette County today to look at what I would say is probably the best soil and water conservation effort on a farm that I've ever seen. And it belongs to my cousin Mickey Harp here, and in full disclosure, Mickey is my cousin and my neighbor, but I still stand by what I'd say about it. And I'm just proud of him and what he's done here. And his farm goes way back, kind of like ours, to our grandpa Birch that ended up losing his land during the Depression, and Mickey's dad bought back a piece of it. My granddaddy bought back a piece of it. But as much as Fayette County's grown, there's still some good farming going on here. We're here today to talk to Mickey about it. So Mickey, tell us a little bit about the history of the property here and the soil conservation efforts that went on before you got involved in it.
So belonged to our grandpa Birch, and my dad purchased it from the land bank in 1941, and he put it in a conservation program for 10-year intervals. It was all terraced off. It already had, our grandpa Birch had already, I'm assuming, already terraced it all off, so there's already water control then. And then my dad farmed it for a few years, and then he retired, and we put in peaches and blackberries, blueberries, grew some vegetables on the property, had a little bit of it in ryegrass, and then we started with a very, very small nursery. And then
terraces in it when it was farmed. They added terraces at one time, right?
Yeah, the terraces were added when it was farmed. That was terraced off. All that was terraced off.
I think it was Will Taylor that worked with Mr. Satterfield here that laid the terraces off with it.
Now he helped me lay the terraces off when we went into Christmas trees. We wanted to get rid of some of the smaller terraces, so we went in, took those out, but added some more longer terraces in. And Will, he came in and helped me design those, and we laid out terraces so we still have water control, even though we changed from the old cotton farm that had originally been to a new type of farming. Then we also, Will came in, I decided to put a lake in the back, and Will came in, designed it, so we had funneled the water into the lake. There wasn't a stream, but we'd been able to hold about an acre pond just from rain runoff there. Then we added the nursery, and as the nursery grew, we couldn't let all because we use a large amount of water in container plants. We control the water flow, and it flows into some small ponds here, back over to another pond, and then we built a smaller pond in the back to catch another pond to catch water, and then we built one down in the front to recapture water. So we only lose about 10% of the water that we irrigate with. We recapture at least 90% of it. And then not only do we capture it, we also reuse it in the irrigation. We run pipes through there and reuse it.
So these tanks are holding water you recaptured?
No, these tanks are holding water. We actually have to use wells, and the wells don't have enough water flow. So we store water in them overnight, pump back out of there. The water that runs over here and irrigates these plants back over here will then flow into this pond, and this pond we can irrigate back out of.
So you did all that designing for the most part of the nurseries. That's your design on that?
Yes,
right?
Yes.
So what was your motivation? I know you want to be a good steward. I mean, was that the main motivation?
Well, that was part of the motivation, but we went down, it was White's Nursery at the time, biggest nursery in Georgia, and went down there looking we were putting in large containers and looking how to irrigate those and also keep them standing. And they had just put in a really nice system that as it left the property, they actually had purer water than what they pumped on there. I didn't get to that stage, but I said, well, if they can do it, I can do it in a small way.
So how much maintenance all is there to it to keep all this water reclaiming going?
The ditches are the main thing. You know, especially the last few years, we've had heavy rains and all, and keeping your ditch system up that brings it back in here is the main thing. We have had some silt runoff that we have to clean out too, but the main one's keeping ditches. That's usually once to twice a year, going in and maintaining them.
So without revealing all your personal finances, like how big would you describe your nursery as? What size nursery? Where do you fit in as far as nurseries in Georgia?
We're a medium nursery. We're a 30-acre production nursery of landscape material, and a mid-sized nursery. Usually you're either going to be small, a few acres, or you're going to hit that 30 to 50 and be a medium, and then you have to jump to like 100, 200, 300-acre nursery to be considered a large nursery.
So you're kind of like me. You're getting on up in your 60s. What's the plan for the nursery going forward?
I've got Nolan, my son, has worked here since he was 8 years old, and I can leave a lot more than I used to already, so he can take care of it. So it's going to move on to Nolan as long as we can stay here in Fayette County and the growth doesn't run us off. We'll be able to stay for a while.
I really haven't done it. Can you count back how many generations your family's been farming here?
I think so. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 generations, and then I got a grandson.
Yeah.
So Stephanie's 7th generation.
Yeah,
your daughter's 7th generation farming.
Actually, she's 8 because I'm 7th. I'm a generation behind.
Oh yeah, that's right. Your generation. That's right.
Yeah.
Yep. Like I said, we started out with Ricky and I. Actually, I was an independent grower. Ricky was farming down there. We joined together and we had a roadside market. We had the Christmas trees, and then we decided to split back off, and Ricky kept the Christmas trees, and I went with the nursery to expand my sales opportunities. As the city of Atlanta grew, the market shrank some in the area that you could cover. So we can kind of cover the southeast. We got a general route that goes Macon to Birmingham, up to Huntsville, back around to Chattanooga, Asheville, down to Columbia, South Carolina. So it expanded my market area that I could reach out to. It's why I decided to continue growing the nursery. And the other thing that we did together that was really profitable for a long time was the farm tours, which was fun. And then it was time to be through with.
But it wasn't.
And one thing I always think about with Mickey is when we were young, Mickey was one of those that when, like when you're cutting collard or turnip greens or something, his row would always kind of get stretched out further than other people. He could cut some greens back in the day. And actually his brother Don Jr., that ended up being a well-known preacher in Atlanta, was another one that could push his row out pretty fast.
But none of us ever caught my dad.
No, and even his dad, even in his maybe 70s, I remember could carry like 6 irrigation pipes on his shoulder out through a plowed field.
Yeah.
And hook them up. He gets the hard work and the work ethic pretty honestly. hope y'all got as much enjoyment out of watching this video as we did out of making it. We're trying really hard to produce some videos that are worthwhile and help y'all learn about what we're doing here at Inman Farm Heritage Days. If you like it, if you don't mind, help us out. Click that like button and subscribe to our channel. And we'll see you on the next time.